Howdy, Hacksters! An exciting unboxing for you today. We're going to take a look at the new M5Stack Core S3 that I've just received. And this was released on the 4th of this month, so about 10 days ago, and it's pretty fresh still, so I'm excited to dig in. Let's have a look in this box first, and then we'll dig into some of the specs online. I haven't actually dug into this first. There's an interesting little card in here that appears to have some RFID compatibility. I'm not exactly sure what that's about yet, but it's got a quotation from Nikola Tesla. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. Definitely an interesting branding choice. But let's get to the meat of this package. This is, as the name suggests, the third generation of the ESP32 cores for M5Stack. Here we go, CoreS3 development kit. We've got a little bit too much brightness on here, so I'm going to make this a little bit clearer for us. Unfortunately, being a bit of a jerk to me today. Woo, there we go. All right, cool. So the CoreS3 development kit, right on the outside, we've got ESP32S3 is the chip that's inside of here. Multimedia applications for machine learning with low power consumption. This is mostly designed for smart home projects, IoT projects, your industrial automation projects even, things like that. That's what they list on the website. You've got some specs here. The system on chip is the ESP32S3. We've got a dual-core Xtenza LX7 CPU, 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, 16 megs of flash built-in, and 8 megs of PS RAM built-in, but also there's a TF card slot for an extra 16 gigs of storage. And that's over here. They call it an SD card slot sometimes and a TF card slot sometimes. It's basically the same thing. Two user input buttons. We've got a Grove port and a USB Type-C port, including USB on the go, so you can actually plug in devices like, for example, a keyboard or something like that, and have it be controlled, or have it control this device. MS bus times one. Compared to previous versions of the M5Stack cores, this one has a camera. You've got 2 mics instead of 1. Instead of in the previous version, you've got more battery life. So this one has 500 milliamp hours. You've got a barrel jack for DC power in, where previously you only had USB, I believe. In this case, you have something that's optimized for 12 volts in, but can do 9 to 24 volts, which is pretty cool. Here we go. Human machine interaction. You've got your capacitive multi-touch input on that 320 by 240 pixel input display. Dual microphones, as I mentioned. An amplifier for good sound quality. You've got a 1 watt speaker in there, 6-axis IMU, same as the previous version, and a geomagnetic sensor, aka a magnetometer, all helping you to have like a compass and other orientation sensing and attitude sensing. There's also a new way to attach it to DIN rail. So let's just open this up. Yeah, is there some tape on here? There is. What else we got here? Parts list. Okay, you've got the CoreS3, you've got the DIN rail attachment, and then some little. Oh, cool! You've even got a hex key. I busted out my screwdriver kit just in case I would need it in order to take off that DIN bus attachment, but it looks like they've actually set us up already. I haven't actually, dug into the box here. I did cut it open, so I wouldn't have to do that on screen. But yeah, ooh, tidy little package. We got this screen with the plastic just lifted up slightly to make it easier to come off. Plus a little tab over here. I'll do that in a moment. Ooh, gorgeous. I've got a huge label on here that says tin base. And then over here, you've got your TF card slot. There are power and reset buttons. Here's your power on off switch. I'm going to assume this little guy is the reset with little round arrow on there. You've got some attachment points. I wonder if this is actually compatible with Lego, like Lego Technic. It kind of looks like it, but maybe not. Your DC in. We've got your DIN base. You've got some perforations that look like they will help with the speaker. You've got your Grove compatible I2C port. Good stuff. Capacitive.io, receive and transmit. And yeah, let's get this open because I'm curious. Oh, check that out. What's going on? Is this SD and SCL? Pound ground? I'm not sure. They say it comes with a little Allen key, so let's have a look. You just like pull it out of there. Interesting. Woo! It's got a cute little orange color scheme on there. Tear it open like a piece of candy. More little hardware attachment, guys. It's got like a little... This is almost like a rubberized, grippy surface here. And we're just going to take this off. Very easy. And so far, you'll notice that on the outside here, this doesn't have the usual M5Stack information overload style labeling, but just you wait. Oh, I gotta get that in focus. I'm gonna update our focus a little bit just so that we can get more close-ups here. Yes. How's that? A little bit more. Playing with focus. Let's go somewhere in the middle here. Okay, cool. So, as you saw, they have a very strong tendency to stick vast amounts of information on the outside packaging of their products, which I kind of love. It like helps with remembering which pins are which ports are which. This is all your DIN attachment stuff. Come off of there. Ha! Check it out! They snap together with these headers. And there is your information overload. So you've got the cap touch information. You've got... Let's get this out of the way. Yes. More information. Okay. M-bus stuff. You've got pin labels for this header here. You've got power press on, hold 6 seconds for off. You've got DIN rail information. SDA is 12, SCL is 11, 16 megs flash, 8 megs PS RAM. All these details just listed on this thing. Check this out. Check out this little flow chart. That's incredible. USB-C, bus out, etc. LCD power is 3V 3. LCD reset P11. Wow. Just a mind-boggling amount of information that they managed to fit on these things. And then you've got the ESP32 under there with its little antenna. So this is what that looks like. And then you've got this almost proto board style thingy for attaching to the DIN base. Look at that. And various of the ports and the DC input. So you'll have to keep this attached if you want to use those features. So I'm going to stick it back on. Okay, which way did this go? Oh, we can just go by the headers. That's nice. And they've even got like a little tab to help make it easier to separate apart. Let's see what happens when... Oh, the camera is located at the bottom, by the way. Let's see what happens when we plug this in. I'm going to pull off the plastic. There's a whole like subculture / movement in the hardware space called something like leave the film on. I am not one of them. I always take the film off. Yeah, they often have some cool little demos that run when you plug these in. So let's see what happens when we apply power. Oh, you know what? I gotta turn it on. Duh. Did you hear that? It made an amazing little like sparkly noise. Cool. That's so much information. Press on. Wi-Fi, camera, dual mic. Let's mess with our settings a little bit more again so that we can make this a little bit more legible. Okay. Still very bright, but we've got power here. Ha! Cool. 37.0 degrees Celsius. It's very sharp resolution, by the way. It's hard to tell because of the camera picking up all this light coming off of it. But yeah, it's very sharp display. 5 volts going to the bus. What's this? Play. Oh, cool. IMU calibration. Gonna turn down the light again. Rad. Go back to home. Camera. Camera's just gonna show you my ceiling, which isn't very interesting. Touch. Oh, cool, you can draw on it. What about multi-touch? Not so much on this particular demo. Oh, wow. That's cool. Ha! It rescans when I swipe on it. Interesting. Wi-Fi? It'll probably pull up a list of the Wi-Fi around here. Oh, cool. Okay, so they look about the same, but you know, that's not too surprising because they're pretty close to each other. Cool stuff. All right, now let's take a look at the specs online. Oh yeah, I linked in the description below to a video from about a month ago, the last unboxing we did with some M5Stack stuff. And we've got also this Hackster article that Gareth wrote for us. So he dove deeply into a lot of the specs on this guy. We've got the integrated camera, various sensors, microphones, and the ESP32S3 microcontroller to tie it all together. He mentions how it's got vector acceleration specifically designed for tiny ML workloads at the edge. And this is where it comes into the home automation and industrial automation stuff. So there's lots that you can do with tiny ML. He says that latter feature is probably why M5Stack has decided to pair the chip with a Galaxy Core Microelectronics GC0308 camera, a VGA resolution CMOS sensor running up to 30 frames per second. So that camera is not incredibly high resolution, but it does run at 30 FPS, which is pretty cool. And then you also have those 2 microphones compared to the previous version. You've got about the same sensors as last time, although you've got now a proximity sensor, which wasn't present in the CoreS2. You still have a real-time clock and a calendar chip designed for low power consumption if you need something like really, really accurately timed. There is a sleep timer wake-up function using the RTC, so for extra low power usage. Anything else that I missed? Let's see. USB OTG support for hosting external devices, like I talked about, 2 Grove-compatible interfaces, and an M-Bus interface for expansion with other M5Stack modules. So on the software side, they promise full support for Arduino as well as UI Flow, their own development environment. Stick around for a second because I'm going to I'm going to try out one or more of the demos that are included in M5Stack's M5 Burner software, which I downloaded for the last demo. So I've also linked the main page for this, which is, you know, mostly what we've already talked about here. There's also a separate docs page with a really good, huge graphic on here showing you graphically, visually, what else is going on here. You can also download a PDF with the full schematics for the device, which I think is pretty cool. And you can also look up the Extensa LX7 processor that's on here. On the M5Stack community on Hackster, you can, of course, find lots of community-submitted projects using previous versions of M5Stack technology. This includes the fact that you can upload your own if you want. This one looks pretty cool. a new device that takes 2 pictures and compares the color change between every pixel. Whoa, cool! Lots of interesting stuff in here. Not sure what the @tiny thing is doing in there. That's not M5Stack, but okay. You are responsible when you upload a project for including the correct information, but check this out. On the M5 stick, somebody made an Arduino animated GIF player. That is so cute! I love it. Lots of other stuff going on in the projects here. So here's the original basic core. This one has been EOL'd, so they're not producing this one anymore. The M5Stack Core 2, you can find inspiration for what people did with that one, including a little drawing program and stuff like that. I already went through the differences between those, but basically we've got a higher battery, we've got DC power input, we've got that camera and proximity sensor, lots of cool upgrades from version 2. There's also previous examples of people using Edge Impulse for machine learning, TinyML with M5Stack hardware before. And now I want to have a look at this previously explored software of theirs. Gonna pull it up on the screen. It's called M5 Burner, as I mentioned, and they do have a little section for the CoreS3. So first up, there is the CoreS3 user demo, which I believe is the one that was preloaded on here and that we already looked at. Then there are 2 other ones. There's the M5Stack Avatar Mic CoreS3, which I'm guessing, I think I tried this on the Atom last time, and it sort of worked. But this other one in the middle is called StackChan, I believe. I actually pulled it up on Google Translate, and it says that it's equivalent to 0.0.7 of Core 2's test version AI StackChan. Connect the servo to port C. CoreS3 has no buttons, so near the center of the left edge of the screen is button A, and near the center of the right edge of the screen is button C. Not totally sure. Servo to port C. There's no images included here, so we're gonna just see what happens if I burn this onto the device. So I'm gonna hold this up here so you can maybe see. I'm gonna hit burn. Yes. YOLO! Let's see what happens. It has connected, it's writing. Very interesting. I'm always interested in the capacity of these technologies to be used for building companion bots. As you can see, I've got my owl, my fox, and my raccoon companion bots in the background behind me there. So anytime that you put a face on something or a personality on something, oh my gosh, this is going to take forever. Is it stalled out at 4%? Wait, this happened last time. Yeah, when I switch away from the window, it stops updating. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to that. And we can watch it update. Come on, do the thing. Okay, maybe it has stalled out at 49%. Come on. You can do it. Everyone clap your hands if you believe in fairies. I love this little Allen key that came with it. That's so cute. And actually, while this chugs ahead, I'm going to put these bolts back in, because it's got all those extra ports attached to it. And it says to attach a servo to port C. I'm not exactly sure which one is port C. Let's see. Oh, it's labeled. Great. Another win for M5Stack and their obsessive labeling. One of these screws doesn't want to go in. That's fine. Ooh, 100%. So I'm going to flip this off and on again. Oh, you know what? It already said off. Haha. Okay, off. Apparently it's on whenever it's plugged in. Ooh, connecting. And I happen to have these 2 I2C servos from the Grove kits. So I'm going to plug one of those into port C. over here. Oh, it's doing stuff. Waiting for smart config. I wonder what that means. Well, friend, you might be waiting a while because I don't know what smart config is. Let's have a look again at the software and see what happens. Oh, errors. Could not configure port 6, device not configured. Ooh, dang. Well, that's what I get for putting in experimental software. That is the only version of it that there is. So I guess I'll leave it there. There's probably going to continue to be community released bits of software for this thing. It's pretty new. Like I said, it was only released like last Tuesday. It's now Sunday of the following week, so there's lots yet to learn about this thing. Thank you for joining me on this odyssey of learning as we explore the new M5Stack Core S3, a very powerful little device designed for machine learning, home automation, IoT projects, DIY projects, even industrial automation and stuff like that. Lots of possibilities to help it connect to visual stimuli with the camera and proximity sensors. Those two mics giving you directional audio, all kinds of, you've got Wi-Fi connectivity, you've got, what are the other sensors on here? I wrote them down. Oh yeah, that 6-axis IMU and magnetometer. So lots of stuff for attitude recognition, positioning stuff. Stick it on the end of a robot arm and you'll always know what your robot is doing. Excellent. Thank you again for joining me. Check out the links below for more on the M5Stack Core S3. And as always, hack on.